What do each one of these people have in common? Well, whenever they release a sneaker, hundreds of people camp outside stores and even get into riots if need be, just to get their hands on a pair of sneakers. And we threw Bappilari just for the kicks of it. Welcome to On the Money, and today we're breaking down a $79 billion industry which is forecasted to reach $120 billion in the next 5 years. A subculture that's taken a life of its own, rapidly making its way to India. Sneakers and streetwear. Sneakers have made their way to the mainstream in the most unusual way. They're a statement piece, and a lot of celebrities here in India have collections of hundreds of these pairs of sneakers and limited edition streetwear that retails in thousands. But where did it all start? To find out, we'll have to go back to the 80s. While the elite world was focused on buying branded clothes, the skateboarding community started wearing different shoes and accessories. These sneakers gave them a sense of belonging and at the same time made them stand out of the crowd. Certain people from these communities became influential, and this look became even more popular. It was like the look went viral before virality was even a thing.
The best sneakers in town.
In the 90s, the sneakers became really commercial, and this was the time when brands figured out that they could use celebrities to increase their sales. It was during this time that Nike realized that they had unlocked something great. They knew they had a star athlete who was likable, they had a product, and they were even making money. And this is where they played their trump card. As soon as the demand for Air Jordan started to increase, Nike reduced their supply. Because won't you wish to own something that nobody else can have? It was this very exclusivity that made people desire the shoes even more. And according to the law of demand and supply, companies can decrease the supply of the goods that are in demand just to raise the prices. That's right. Nike literally just went like, do you want it? You're asking for it. You're dying for it. Well, sort of. When there's a scarcity of something, you want that thing even more. In the 2000s, Nike acquired Converse, Adidas acquired Reebok, demonstrating the power and wealth of sporting brands. But the most successful collaboration of this era has to be Kanye West and Adidas. This collaboration with Adidas made them $1.7 billion in 2020. It's kind of funny that a shoe brand did so well during a time when people weren't even allowed to step out of their house. Well, because for a sneakerhead, it's not just about wearing these shoes, it's about collecting them. Sneakerhead, a person who collects and trades sneakers as a hobby and who typically is knowledgeable about the history of sneakers. A report by Cowen Equity Research has predicted that the global sneaker resale market to potentially reach up to $30 billion by 2030, with India as an emerging market. However, the resale market is not the same thing as Nike and Adidas making $30 billion. It's about the flipping, meaning the resale of these sneakers that's value at that much. Okay, wait. Let's break down the whole resale market of sneakers. Let's take the example of Adidas launching their shoes in collaboration with The Simpsons. As a sneakerhead, you want to get your hands on those limited edition shoes. But by the time you open their website, the sneakers are already sold out, like within minutes. You open your Instagram and you see your fellow sneakerheads sporting their kicks on Instagram while you wallow in self-pity. But that's not the end, my friend. While you're scrolling, you also found out that some other sneakerhead is reselling the same shoes but for a slightly higher price, just about like $120 more. So you choose to get rid of that FOMO by paying that extra $120 for the same pair of sneakers. And yes, in India, especially due to the pandemic, the resale business is mostly happening on social media platforms like Instagram.
And Instagram is a great platform to sell, right? You get access to a myriad of customers directly. There's no transaction fees. They'll GPay you. For a seller, it's excellent. Sneakers is a fairly simple business to get into. There are retail stores like Veg Non Veg and even the Nike website where sneakers release very regularly. And very often these limited edition releases happen via raffles. So the first goal is to secure some limited edition sneakers. All you have to do is sign up for these raffles. It's literally free. Or wake up at 7:30 in the morning for Nike releases and try your luck at getting your hand on a pair of shoes. They're usually 15 to 20,000. That's your initial investment. Once you've got a hold of a limited edition pair of shoes, chances are someone or the other is going to come asking for it. If you're buying them in a store, someone's going to line up to buy it off of you. Else you can put it out on a WhatsApp group, you can put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. Someone else is going to come through and ask you, and they'll offer you a price that's higher than what you paid. Make sure you figure out different ways to get your hands on shoes. Now, you could buy from resellers in other countries who somehow have a good deal. You need to keep your eye out. Constantly look out for good deals, get your hands on good deal, hold on to that pair, be patient, look for buyers, and you always end up making a profit.
The reason that this industry at large and its resellers are making the kind of money that they're making is because of one simple thing. There's not enough product available. The insane thing is that this isn't just limited to sneakers. This extends to streetwear and merchandise designed by streetwear brands. Supreme is one of the best examples for this. The resale value of Supreme merch is almost 10 times its actual sale price. And all the items' ki worth is dependent on this concept of hype. Hype is a difficult thing to break down because it's entirely dependent on the word of mouth and this collective cool factor. On Black Friday in 2014, Cards Against Humanity sent their customers actual poop because they told people that they were selling bullshit. And the only reason people bought this bullshit was because of the hype to see if the company would actually do it. Hype is a fickle thing because it's usually around something that is niche. Once something that is hyped becomes more common, it gets the new label of mainstream, which automatically means कि niche चीजों के लिए वापस से जगह बन जाती है. Speaking of niche, rappers have influenced our clothing to a great extent. Streetwear has become such a big part of the way people want to dress up, and that's in large part because of Indian rappers and other celebrities. Artists like Divine, MEV, Raftaar are often seen on their Instagram showing off their streetwear collection. And even the success of Gully Boy has introduced a lot more Indians to the streetwear world. It's almost like any of this merch almost elevates your social status. And it's something you can just keep forever. In India, Anand Ahuja co-founded India's first multi-brand sneaker store back in 2012 called Wedge Non-Veg, which by the way is a great name for a brand in India. I mean, because you get to keep everyone happy. Other than reselling, you can also make money by customizing items. However, this is a skilled profession. There are artists in India like Shay and Shoes Your Daddy who take your shoe, design them and paint on them to add a layer of uniqueness to a particular shoe. और ये आपकी मर्जी है कि आपको अपने Jordans customize करवाने हैं या कोई local brand के sneakers. Because in this case, it's the artist's design that is unique, not just the shoe. India's apparel market is projected to grow to $59.3 billion by 2022. All of this to say that there are a lot of international mainstream brands in India making money, which is only going to increase the need for niche and exclusive products. This whole cycle of niche culture going mainstream and thus creating a new cycle by default of what is going to be niche again will translate into profits for homegrown streetwear brands and designers who customize. Because you're always going to want something that I can't have, and that's going to make people a lot of money. If you got a kick out of watching this episode, please check out other fun stuff from On The Money, subscribe to Cred's YouTube channel for more money matters, and we will see you in the next video.